Good evening. We've got some wonderful news you may have heard already. I'll try to keep this short to less than 30 minutes, but I'm also here to answer any questions. But want to explain what happened this evening about 5 p.m. Central Time. President Biden signed an order, a proclamation to remove the previous proclamation number 10014 and also Section 1 of Proclamation 10052. So it's wonderful news, my friends. Great news. But what does this actually mean? People refer to the 10014 as the visa ban, or some people call it to the family visa ban. Well, 10052, Section 1, also includes for the non immigrant visas. For example, like the L1 visa, temporary worker visas, H1B. It was really former President Trump's way of excluding people from entering the United States by using the cop out reason of the coronavirus, which is kind of funny, right? Ironic, coincidental, because he told American people that it was no big deal, but he still used the same reason to keep people out of America. So he just tried to use any way possible during his 4 years to block immigrants from getting any kind of status. A lot of people in the media, the traditional media, all they talked about was really the border wall, but it was way more than that. And I'm sure you know that. So today's great news, my friends. We'll provide a link. So this is straight from the White House. I checked the source, of course. I know some of y'all recently asked me if the rumors were true. At the end of the day, they're always rumors until the ink on paper. And he signed it today, this evening. So I'm finally making that announcement for you. And I'll share it with you on the screen. And after I share it with you, I'll discuss what to expect for other type of visas. Okay. Let me see here. Let me go to whitehouse.gov. I won't read word for word because it gets kind of redundant. But what I would expect after this today, hopefully tomorrow, the State Department or Department of State will have some information on their news bulletin on what they will do moving forward. But I also won't be surprised if they don't say anything, because, or at least maybe not tomorrow, because they need to figure out what to do. But maybe they work in tandem, right? Maybe the President Biden worked in tandem with the State Department, with the Secretary, to see how they can logistically get people ready for interviews with their workforce, the immigration officers. Okay, let me share my screen. Yes, great news, my friends. Marine, hi. Yusuf, yes, finally. Andrea, thank God, seriously. I've been crossing my fingers and praying every day for y'all. Lively Michelle, nice to see you again. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're all happy for everyone. So it's great news, but we need to be cognizant. We need to understand the situation. But let me share my screen. Okay, how do we get there? Here we go. Okay, so you may have a loved one in a different country, or you're watching from abroad. By the way, tell me where you're watching from. I always think that's fun to know, or interesting to know. Okay, so here we are. This was signed today, February 24th. Proclamation revoking a proclamation. This is typical in general, right? When a new president comes into office, sometimes normally not every 4 years, usually every 8 years. But here we are. This was signed by President Trump last year in April 2020, and he extended it in June, and then he extended it again in late December. So he extended it twice. So it was supposed to expire next month, March 31st. So a lot of y'all have been asking me on the channel really legitimate questions. When the heck is Biden going to revoke it? I don't know why he waited this long, but my prediction from live shows before, it was, I said mid-February. That was just my guesstimate to give him time, give him at least 1 month in office to get things figured out. So I was a little bit off. I don't like to predict things, but I know y'all always ask me. So here's my prediction. I was a little bit off. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to highlight the section. It also mentions revoking Section 1 of Proclamation 10052. And here we are. Okay, so Biden mentions specifically that this suspension of entry of immigrants and non-immigrants who continue to present a risk to the U.S. labor market during the economy recovery following the coronavirus outbreak, which, by the way, was Trump's reason, does not advance the interests of the United States. Yeah, it clearly does not. People notice now. People notice now that we definitely need immigrants, to help the American economy. Okay, to the contrary, it says that this restriction 10014 and Section 11052 harms the United States, including preventing family members of U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents from joining their families here. That was very clear. It affected industries across the United States. Okay, it also mentions you may know that, or you may know of friends that won the diversity visa lottery. And so for the fiscal year 2020, there have been lawsuits to try to extend the validity period so that those people can come into the United States because they couldn't physically get the actual visa, even though they won it. So finally, this will definitely help as well. Okay, so like I said, I'm not going to read word for word. I just wanted to share the big news. Yeah, he signed it today. Wonderful. Okay, I'll provide a link to this website down below so that if you want to read it on your own, you're welcome to do that. Okay, so if you have any questions, by the way, you're welcome to ask, but I just wanted to share that part at least. And the other thing to know is, people have been asking, well, what about the K-1 visa? What about the fiance visa? Does that mean that it's going to be a smooth process as well? Does it mean that there are people who have been waiting for the K-1 visa interview be actually scheduled for an interview? I would sure hope so. But there's also the travel ban specific to certain regions, certain countries. For example, Ireland, Brazil, the UK, the Shenzhen area, that's part of Germany, and also China. I could be missing another one, but South Africa, that's right. That's what I meant to include, South Africa. So I have several clients from China that have been waiting for an interview, and I don't believe that this will help. Not just China, but other countries I listed, South Africa and Brazil, and because of the travel ban, the consulates in those countries have been telling people, look, the reason we haven't scheduled anything for you is because of the travel ban. It's not because of the 10052 or 10014. So that's something to keep in mind. I mean, I hope they schedule everyone for interviews, but imagine the backlog, literally a year's worth of applicants, and even more than a year, because people who are, let's say, did not have the interview yet, but it was before April 2020 and didn't have the interview yet, just because they had to provide documents to NVC, go through that process before the interview, some people may not have been able to have that just in time. So that's something to consider. If it's been over a year for you, you're welcome to contact us to see if you're making in time to be part of our lawsuit that we're still going to file against the Department of State. So that's something to consider. Okay, friends. Okay, we got some questions here. Yes, tell me where y'all from, Patty. Nice to see you from Dallas. And we got Gonzalo from Minnesota. Oh my goodness, I heard it was cold over there too. It's probably still cold. I know y'all have like those skywalks and everything. We don't have anything in Houston. Houston, Texas. Here I am. By the way, we represent clients all over the country. Even though we're in Houston, we accept clients because really, we're all, most lawyers are working remotely anyway, not meeting people face to face. Even though my license is in Texas, I am because it's immigration law. We're able to help others in other states and also people who are abroad and outside the United States. Okay, so Nadine, now going to a question. Nadine, your question about what about asylum case process who have work permit and social and kids born here? Well, then Nadine, okay, so even though you may have a pending asylum application 589, that's great that you have it in the system. And even though you already have a work permit through it, that's great. If you have kids born in America, the only way that you can have your kids help you sponsor you or to petition for you, they do have to be 21 years old. So when you say kids, it sounds like they're very young anyway. You may have to wait a while. I mean, hopefully your asylum case won't take that long. I know many people who have mentioned to me on this show, they've been saying that they waited 5 6 years from the day they filed the application. It's kind of strange how long the government takes to schedule people for an interview. It's quite shameful, actually. It's very, for better or worse, things happen for a reason. Sometimes the longer it takes could be actually beneficial for people who file for asylum. For other type of cases, if it takes too long, um, I mean, even including asylum, though, some people want to file a lawsuit against the government because they believe, of course, that you have a legitimate case. I mean, everyone that comes to our office understands that we take these cases very seriously. So if anyone wants to file, it has to be, they have to tell the truth, of course, because the government wants to, will penalize people. There will be consequences if people file a fake case. So we take these kind of cases, this information seriously. And let's see what else to share with you. I hope that Nadine, I hope that answers your question. Okay. Oh, Gonzalo, yes, you got used to it. I'm glad you did. I couldn't get used to it. If you heard what happened in Houston or just Texas in general, the past year, I'm sorry, the past week. It's crazy. Crazy how long what a week does to uh to the weather here. Okay, I want to show y'all something as you have questions coming through. If you don't have a question right now, that's completely okay. We'll just wait to see what the State Department will say, which I'm actually looking at the. Okay, let me share my screen with you. You're welcome, Nadine. I saw your comment. By the way, friends, if you think I can, if you do have a case that you may just want a second opinion, or need to speak with a lawyer for the first time, please fill out the intake form down below our link that starts with Ting Law. Okay, you'll see that in the description box. We're happy to help you. Also, especially because the Menendez Sanchez proposal with the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021. I know a lot of y'all have questions about it. It's not a law yet. It's only a proposal, but I know people still are wondering, asking if they can still qualify based on that proposal. So fill out the form down below. That's one of the best ways for us to get in contact with you, or you could just go ahead and schedule an appointment at the link that actually is scrolling here. Oh, by the way, we do answer messages on WhatsApp. That is our phone number down below, the 469-645-8464. And so we accept messages on WhatsApp, also on our Facebook page, and Messenger, Facebook Messenger. and I will put that there for you. Then I'll see if there's anything in the news. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. I hadn't done that before. So instead of scrolling, I'll just stay right there. Okay, friends. So so yeah, you can contact me there on Messenger. We'll get back. If we don't answer you within a couple hours, we'll get to you to the next morning. Okay. But I was on the State Department website earlier today, and it actually showed for March. So I'm surprised they removed it this evening. Hopefully, it'll come back tomorrow so we can see if there's any progress. Okay, what I wanted to show you is a news section. Okay, let's go to US visas. This is one of the sources I always check if there's any progress. Okay, so today's February 24th. Okay, so it does mention here already about the rescission, the removal of Proclamation 10014. Okay, that's today, February 24th. Instructions. Okay, here we are. Here we are, my friends. Oh, this might be too big. Okay, let me go down a bit. Okay, if you're not yet interviewed, okay, immigrant visa applicants who have not yet been interviewed or scheduled for an interview will have their applications processed according to our existing other policy phase resumption of visa services framework. So we'll check that out in a second. Okay, the next thing for people who are previously refused. So there's a situation we posted a video about this, I believe 1 or 2 weeks ago. People who have something called 221G. It's basically another way the government's trying to say, look, we're just going to put your case aside because human nature. If someone says refused, that makes it sound like it's denied, but that actually does not mean the same thing as denied when it comes to immigration processing. So here it says immigrant visa applicants whose petitions remain valid and who were previously interviewed but refused visas due to this Proclamation 10014 should wait for instructions from the U.S. Embassy or consulate where they were interviewed, my friends. So the State Department will reconsider cases that were previously refused and will inform applicants if additional information is needed. Well, that was kind of redundant. But okay. So those I know were the two main situations that most of y'all have been waiting for. So that's good news. It still doesn't say anything specifically about K1 visas because technically it's considered non-immigrant visa, and then somehow it turns into, of course, because you're entering the U.S. without only with a K1, and then you have to get married. So it's really non-immigrant visa. So that's not included here, as you can tell. Okay, so let me go back a little bit. What is included for immigrant visa is I know a lot of y'all have been asking about like the F1. What's the update on F1? What's the update on F2, F2A, F2B, F3, and F4? You know what those categories are. I'm not going to go into specifics. You can look at on the visa bulletin. It's basically any of the family member relationships, like F4's the sibling, brother, or sister of a U.S. citizen. Okay. And F2A is the spouse of a resident and minor children of a resident, lawful permanent resident. Um, so those are open. They're gonna reschedule. They're gonna have scheduled interviews for those for y'all if you're in that category. Okay. Let me go back to this website here. Diversity Visa 2020 applicants. This is the one that had a big lawsuit called Gomez versus Trump. They just had a ruling about an order a couple days ago about it, actually, saying that the government needs to issue these visas, provide them. So people who have a DV 2020 applicant are gonna benefit from this rescission, this revoking this proclamation, of course. So let's see what it says. Well, it said the court did not specify for how long the visas would be considered valid. Additionally, it may be possible that the court order could be changed or modified in some important respect. Therefore, applicants wishing to benefit from the order are encouraged to travel as soon as practical, as the order could change. This is true because if that judge, I think, I don't want to say the name wrong, but I think it was, no, I don't want to say the name wrong, but I can't remember his name at the moment. But yeah, that you got to act fast. If you're a recipient of a diversity visa for 2020, you got to act fast. Okay. If you have any questions about that, fill out the intake form down below, my friends. By the way, friends, if you're new to a channel, if you're watching, whether it's on the YouTube or the Facebook page or the Facebook group, please share our video. Go ahead and share it right now, even while we're still live, or if you're watching this recorded later on. Please go ahead and share it so that more people know the great news. Okay. Um, by the way, we also do have training videos, training sessions for people that need to be trained, to prepared for the interview. Been waiting so long. I'm sure many of you have been waiting 6 months, 8 months, 9 months for this interview that you're waiting for it to be scheduled. And some people think they don't need the interview, but look, you've been waiting such a long time. Don't take the chance. We do have a program where you could get trained on that, get you prepared. So fill out the intake form down below. We'll share more information with you. It's very low cost. Okay, so we just want to make sure you're able to come into the country. Okay, so here in this section, geographic COVID-19 restrictions. This is still valid. It's still going on. This is what I was talking about, the travel restriction for specific countries. And so it says, because there's 3 proclamations related to it. Okay, it says which suspend entry into the U.S. For nationals who have been physically present in these specific countries: People's Republic of China, Islamic Republic of Iran, Schengen area, UK, which includes, which is England, Republic of Ireland, Brazil, South Africa, and I know there's one about China. Oh, here it is. Yeah, China. That was the first one I mentioned. Okay. Within, anyway, if you've been in those countries or regions in a 14-day period before seeking entry in the U.S., put it in bold. It says remain in effect. Immigrant visa applicants who are spouses or children of U.S. citizens, as well as spouses and minor children of residents, F2A, are exempted from this geographic restriction. So that means that people that I just mentioned here can move forward and have the interview, okay, and have the visa. So here's the deal, though. I mentioned K1 visa earlier, right? It says here, all other immigrant visa applicants and K-fiancé non-immigrant visa applicants remain subject to this geographic proclamation unless another exception applies, which is very narrow to begin with. Okay, so look, friends, K1 visa is a non-immigrant visa. So even though it specifically was not mentioned as a ban, the government officials said it wasn't included as part of the exception. So because it wasn't included as part of the exception, like the spouses of residents and children of resident or spouses of U.S. citizen, then people who have K1, they have to wait. They have to wait even longer. It's not just wait in line, but there's really no reason that K1 applicants should be included in this. So if you are still affected by this and you need help, okay, especially if it's a K1 applicant, if you are a K1 applicant and been waiting a long time, please message us, okay, or fill out the intake form down below. We are planning to file a lawsuit against the government. We're just waiting on a couple more people, okay? We want to get you taken care of, okay? So, yeah, you can message us on Messenger or, let's see, there we are. Or right there, our phone number there. You can message us on WhatsApp, okay? But let me go back to this because Okay, here we are. I mentioned earlier, it did mention about resumption of all visa services. Okay, it says we are resuming routine visa services on a post by post basis. This is what I predicted before, friends. It's not case by case, post by post. What a post means is a consulate location. Okay, so basically, depending on your consulate location, depending on your country, every location will have different pandemic protocol. Okay, so I said because it says here, following State Department guidance to safely return our workforce, and the public to department facilities. Look, they don't want to put government workers and applicants like yourselves, if you're abroad, or your loved ones who are abroad, in a situation where the government was just not ready. Um, I would think they can get it ready sooner than later because I mentioned this before. In August 2020, stateside in America, USCIS offices were open again to have interviews for adjustment of status interviews. And they kind of like you go to the grocery store or really any store, most stores have some kind of panel, between you and the cashier. Well, that's exactly the same thing they do at the USCIS interviews. So why can't they do that at the State Department post? It shouldn't be that difficult, right? But that's only one consideration. I got to cut them a little slack, right? I know you as the applicant, you've been waiting so long. You don't want to cut them slack. I know because it's been more than 1 year. But it's the workforce also. We don't know that if 50% of the workforce was COVID positive, coronavirus positive. We don't know what's going on with that, right? So that's why they say it depends on the consulate location. Okay, if goes on to say, as post specific conditions improve, our embassies and consulates will begin providing additional services and will resume routine visa services completely as soon as it is safe to do so for the public in our workforce. Okay, so applicants should check the website of their nearest U.S. embassy or consulate for updates. That's exactly what I've been telling y'all. So bookmark your that website for your consulate. If you don't know where to look, send us a message on Messenger or on WhatsApp. We will help you do that. We will do that as a courtesy. Okay, we want to make sure you're able to contact them. In fact, actually, we do have a tip. You should contact them anyway, maybe sometime this week. They and see what their plan is. Yes, Dinesh, exactly. You should write an email to your embassy. Tell them your full name of the principal. I'm sorry, the principal applicant. I don't know if that's you or your family member, but also of the petitioner sponsor full name, the date of birth of both people, also your case number, your NVC case number, and also the priority date on the petition. And then after that, they want that information first. And then after that, you can give them a little message like, how soon can we expect an interview? Something like that, okay? And give them some time to respond because Biden just signed this today, 4 hours ago. Okay, let's see if there's anything else on the State Department website. I knew there'd be something. I knew it. Okay. Okay, my friends. If you are new to, thanks for watching. We greatly appreciate it. Go ahead and please subscribe to the channel or like our page if you're watching on Facebook. Okay, let's see here. I think I do have something else to share for you here. No, that was it actually. Okay, it's just the other thing was just saying that the travel ban is still in effect for those countries. Okay, so yes, Dinesh, you definitely should. Hopefully, everyone got those tips. If not, fill out the intake form. We'll send you some tips or messages on Messenger or WhatsApp. Nadine, you're welcome. Dinesh, here's your other message. You're welcome for the update. Happy to help. I told y'all yesterday. Yeah, yesterday we had a live show that I would update you all as soon as we found out. Well, I didn't. Yeah, I updated y'all on the community post. I couldn't do a live video at the moment because we were having dinner with the family. Which, by the way, please spend. I know with the pandemic, a lot of y'all have been, some of y'all have been working from home. Please consider this. I know y'all have been working hard still, even though you've been working from home and hustling. I know y'all have been hustling. Okay, but please take this moment to hug your loved ones. Life is short, and that's why our law firm, myself, we're working hard to get your family, loved ones back in your arms in America. We need to make this happen. Okay, so K1 visa applicants, I know you're still in limbo here, my friends. So we're here to help you. Ismail, you're welcome. Thanks for watching again. Okay, Mohammed, you've got something to share with us. You've applied for Form I-360 for green card. Congratulations on that. Your question is, if my visa expires before the approval of this form, will I be out of status or not? Yes, you will be out of status, unfortunately. So I don't know what your basis for I-360. There's so many different reasons to file based on that. But yes, in general, if you have a different visa currently and it will expire, filing the application for any application, for example, I-360, does not mean you have any kind of temporary status. That just means you have a pending case. Okay, so hopefully that helps. So again, I don't know what your visa is, but you may want to consider filing an extension if you're able to, I-539. Okay. Okay, friends, this will be the last question for tonight. It's getting late here in Texas, it's 9:30. But if you post a comment here, I appreciate it. But please post again after the show. But the best way, honestly, friends, is to message us on Facebook or WhatsApp at this number that's scrolling down below. Rain3140. Thank you for your message. What about overstay? Okay, so overstay tourist visa and work under the table. Well, look, and can they available for amnesty? I mentioned this yesterday. I don't like calling it amnesty, my friends. I know it does seem like it's going to help a lot of people, but there are still a lot of restrictions. So please don't call it amnesty, because if you've got conservative friends, those conservatives, those Republicans, they don't like amnesty. They don't like that talk. We really need 10 Republicans to sign this proposal. So Rain3140, if you had more, I need more facts. But based on what you're saying so far, people who overstay, yes, you can qualify for this. Strangely, if you are here on a current visa like F1 or H1B, you wouldn't qualify under this proposal, because it's they want people to maintain the current pathway also. Okay, this is not to discourage people to go out of status, of course, but let's see here. So you work on a table. Well, by the way, Rain, you've got to file your taxes, because that's what this proposal, they want proof of that. Hi, Brooke. Thanks for the message. We'll get our team on that and see if we can help you. Okay. Alrighty, friends. Again, if you're new to our channel, please subscribe to our channel, like our Facebook page, and gently hit the like button and share the video with your friends. Until next time, please continue wearing your mask. Take care now. Bye-bye.